And welcome back to the Think Tank Podcast. I am your host, Randy Hayes. So glad that you are joining us again today. I have another special guest, and we're going to be talking about real estate, a little bit about fitness, and some other cool things that she has going on. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Alessandra Finn. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for the invite. I'm glad to be here. Yeah, excited to get started.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So do me a favor, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what it is that you do.
Okay. I'm from New York. I've been down in the Virginia area for since 2012. I enlisted in the Air Force immediately after high school, so just under 7 years. When I got out, I went back to New York for about 3 years, and then down here in Virginia since 2012. I worked as a federal police officer. While serving as a federal police officer, I got my bachelor's and my MBA.
Okay.
Then transitioned to be a business analyst. And that was like right maybe a year or two before COVID. And like a little bit once, the end of COVID, I transitioned to being a realtor, and I've been a realtor full time since.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, what was it that really like spurring you getting into your real estate journey?
I would say that once my son graduated high school, I realized that I had time that I hadn't really had before to really just focus on me and do what I wanted to do. And really trying to evaluate what that was. It wasn't sitting, I enjoy being a business analyst. I love the skill that I gained and what I learned. But when I just sat back and really thought about it, it was my journey by purchasing my own home. Remembering that feeling and how my realtor made me feel, and just I didn't ever think that being a realtor, I never considered it really until my son, he was coming on his tail end. And then I had to think back to my own journey. And it was really a pleasant journey, into home ownership. I kind of stumbled into home ownership. It wasn't something that I realized that I could do because I was comparing myself to as a single mom, this high cost of living area, making a certain amount. I was comparing myself to married couples who are 30 years in the game, both receiving disability and a whole bunch of stuff. So that's the worst thing that you can do is compare yourself to others. But I did evaluate my journey into purchasing my own home, and I wanted to share that and be a part of that.
Mhm.
Knowing that I could be uh, a guide for buyers, first time home buyers, veterans, whoever, to get into real estate. That was something that I could wake up every day excited to do.
Right.
Like, I'm happy when I get a first time home buyer. Anybody that wants to buy, sell, whatever, everybody needs a place to lay their head. So I didn't realize how much information and education I had just learned over the course of owning my own home when I purchased my home back in 2015. And now um, it's something that I'm glad that I can get to, guide people into that same, path.
Right. When we talked offline, one of the things that we discussed was, you decided to like consult like a mortgage counselor,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't go that route, but maybe that's like your analytical background, wanting to have all the facts and stuff. But
Well, this is Alex.
okay,
But I've always been an overthinker, and I think that's part of being. I know that some people.
it's a strength though. It can be, especially in your field. Sure.
I have encountered that. We can talk about that later because that definitely was an issue when I first started real estate. But I as a single mom, I didn't have the luxury. I never felt like I had the luxury of making a mistake in such a magnitude, at that large magnitude. So I knew that I needed to make that move, make sure that it was a correct move, make sure I was.
It's a big decision.
Yes, and even as prepared as I thought that I was, well, in seeking, guidance from now a mortgage counselor, I still was not as knowledgeable in the process of purchasing. But I only looked at one lender. Like that's something that I tell my buyers now. Like, okay, like it's gonna hit your credit the same. Like it's not gonna be 50 different. I'm not saying apply at 50 different places, but I only checked one lender out. That's something that I'm like, okay, I wouldn't really recommend that now, but I did not know that then. But seeing the mortgage counselor, I thought that I was getting myself, or my intent was to get myself prepared, um, and knowledgeable about the mortgage process. But because I was not, according to them, I was not financially ready to purchase for another like 18 to 24 months, like the education of it, that part where I came to you to kind of
Yep.
get that, to see where if I was prepared, and what do I need to do to get prepared.
Probably gonna be a little humbling.
Yeah, because I was not, they weren't able to do anything for me at that moment, or within the next month or 2 months, and kind of like, okay, well, come back when, 18, 24 months when you're closer to. It's just like, they just
Right.
then, okay, well, this is your credit. This is why you can't buy 18 to 24 months and then come back. Okay, like, but what else? Like, there was no real guidance, and there also was no real compassion in how they dealt
Mm.
with me. And like, I don't need anybody to like stroke me and hold my hand and be like, oh, poor Alessandra. That's not what I was looking for. But I was looking for a little bit of like, humanity, a little bedside manner, like this is this is a reason, one of the things, and one of the reasons why I think some buyers are kind of off put and a little, like they don't really want to go down that route because they feel like they're already going to be told no, and a lot of buyers are told no. But it's okay. It's at least you know where you started. I want to help you get there. So that's what I didn't get from that mortgage counselor. So, but what I did do was I told them that it's gonna. I see you in 30 days. I'm gonna get this taken care of in 30 days. And he was like, I'm not gonna afford it. And looked at me and he was like, okay. Like didn't even try to hide that he was like beyond skeptical,
Yeah.
just complete disbelief. I did not know how I was going to make it happen, but I signed up for every bit of overtime that I could get because I was a federal police officer at that time. I stopped drinking coffee, my Starbucks, which is a big step.
Just a sacrifice. That's a sacrifice for sure.
Yes, then I made some other changes at that point as well. Like anything that I needed, I started going to thrift stores. That's actually where I ended up in my love for thrift stores because I absolutely love. Even now, I still shop at thrift store. This is from a thrift store, so
Oh, okay.
but yeah, I began my love for thrifting then because I knew I had to make decisions to put me in a position to be able to get to the place where I could purchase a home, and I wanted to do it for my son and myself. But and I woke up one day. I already had a certain amount of disability. I am a veteran, and I woke up and I saw a significant amount of back pay in
Mm.
my account.
Yes.
Screenshot.
Little windfall.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so nice to see that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I took a screenshot and then I just took my credit report and then I started calling the creditors. I started calling if there was anything in collections, and they would ask if I wanted to take the payout, and I told them I do not. If you remove this from my credit report, then I will pay this today. And they would always try to push paying the settlement amount. And I don't know what the laws are now. I didn't even really know what the laws were then, but in my mind, it just didn't. When I was talking to them,
Yeah.
but it didn't. The questions I was asking, they're like, "Well, you can. It'll be on, but it'll fall off." But the thing is, I'm trying to buy a house.
Yeah.
I can't afford for this.
Yeah. I need this now.
So yeah, I got the money. I'm just gonna pay for it, and I did that, and I was able to. And that was like January, end of January, 2015, and I closed on my house in April 2015. So
All right.
about the
All right.
18 to 24 months. And I closed.
Won't he do it?
Won't he will? But but I was so happy when I called, when I got all of that paid off,
Mm-hmm.
and I called, and I had no intention of going back with him. I just wanted to rub it in because the girl can be petty. But I just didn't like how he like, there was just like, again, no compassion, no, okay, let's formulate a plan.
Right.
And that's how I like dealing with my buyers and my sellers, like with the plan. You may want to. I have sellers that have been looking to sell their home for the past like 2 years. And there's, I don't always say always something that they are preparing And sometimes they feel like they're kind of like ready, but then something happens in their personal life. So in the meantime, like, okay, well, like, let's take a look at your home. How you want to list it as is. Like, let's form a game plan. So when you are ready,
Yeah.
then we can. It's not going to be as much on your plate to deal with. And the same thing with fires. So that's like when I looked back at some of the things that kind of was like a driving force. I love when somebody tells me no. Tell me that I can't use something.
Right.
Thank you. Because you all are sure that I was.
It was all the motivation you need. I got you.
That's it. Like somebody told me I wasn't able to build my deck. My deck is 3 levels and about 1,000 square feet with a
You did that.
graded yes. And I helped my son helped.
Okay.
More than helped. I actually taught him.
Shout out to the son.
Yeah, my son Ezra. I love him.
Ezra.
Yes, but what I did was, one, I wasn't paying no $70,000 for that. I wasn't. Not at that time. I couldn't. Like, I'm like, how the tools? Really, I did the cost again, the analytical side of me. I'm looking. I'm like, okay, well, that's $70,000, and the ROI is about 80%. And I have all the tools. I just have to buy the materials. I just did it myself. I went to Stafford County, got it permitted, and it took a lot longer than what a deck builder would. But I'm not in any rush to go anywhere. I'm not even gonna lie. Anybody who knows me, they know to ask, is that done yet? I'm like, shh, we're done.
Yeah. But I mean, it was on your time, but it was also something that it was like a hobby. Yeah.
Changed up the design. That's what really took the longest time. Was like I kept on making it bigger. Start off 1,000 square feet. It didn't start off at 3 levels. It didn't start off with a pergola. It didn't start off with a sunken seating or integrated seating.
Okay.
It didn't start with any of that. It started off as just a placement back, and then it just grew. So.
I think you were telling me offline, like, the inspector came by and was like, who did this?
Yeah. So when the inspector came by, and you have to get your things inspected in stages. So when they came by to inspect the holes, for the footers and ledger board and everything, the inspector, I was getting ready for work, and they just came by. They were looking at it, and they left a rejection. I was like, oh, I know you lying. The level, but I used the Stafford County deck detail, and per the deck detail, everything was on point. So what happened was I dropped the ledger board because my deck, it was a wooden deck, which I love wood. Oh, that's going to be a name, huh? But let me stop.
Hey, yo.
But it was I dropped the ledger board. I lowered it because it was like touching. I had T111 siding, which is wood siding if you don't know. But it was rotting. One, there was no like wrap on the back deck. So it was just like screws, not lag bolts, not anything, but it was a really old deck. So I had to remove the siding, I had to replace part of the ring joist, and then I lowered it so if it snows, it doesn't fit right on the threshold, and it doesn't rot. So when I lowered it, part of the ledger board was on the rim joist, and part of it was on the foundation. So the rim joist I had to use the wooden legs, but the part that was on the foundation I had to use the concrete bolts.
Who how did you pick up like being such a handy woman?
I did not want to pay $7,000 for a deck.
Okay. Just pure determination
And then I literally had people at my job tell me, like, you can't do this. You can. Okay. And I don't care how much it takes. Like, it's my house. So I'm figuring out how to do it, and I'm going to do it and do it the right way. So when the guy came and he told me that I had failed that, and I didn't even know he was there at first. He just came and then looked at it. The holes were good, but the ledger board, he was like, fail, because it wasn't a floating deck. I have it attached to the house. So I caught him. I was like, hold on, excuse me. Can you explain this? And he said, well, then you have two different types of connections. I said, well, there's two different types of things I was connected to. The top part is connected to the rim joist. The bottom part is connected to the foundation. He said, oh. And then he asked, who did this? I said, I did. He's like, no, I know you're here. But who actually did this? I did. You did this? I did. I rented the order. I drilled the hole. It's, you know what? You learn a lot about physics and hoisting things up and using, it's not easy. It was not easy, but my son was out there helping me for a lot of it. And now he's to the point, One time, this girlfriend needed a new battery to mount the cars. Just I draw the line. I know how to change the windshield wipers. I could change the battery. I don't. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not. I can't car attention plate B. But um, my son, his girlfriend needed her battery changed, and he figured it out. Like
There you go.
but I that's not something that I taught him. But what I see now is when he needs something done, he finds a way to do it.
It's like a can-do attitude, pretty much. I got you.
He took a bag of my tools when he left me when they got their apartment. I was like, you know what?
You know where to find them, though.
Yeah, I wasn't even mad because honestly, I was gonna get him like a little bag of tools anyway. But I'm like, all right, well, I get to buy myself a new drill.
There you go.
So, but that was long. But I'm sorry. That's yeah, that's essentially how I got into or how I realized my love for real estate because I feel like there's a lot of buyers who also. I really love the buyers who love like old homes or want a fixer upper. Like I love just jumping in their vision and just like hearing how they would want to make a house their own. I have real like it's sentimental for me, right? But that was something that I'm like, oh, I can help people. I can help veterans. Like I did not know there's a lot of stuff I didn't know that was available to me when I first purchased my home. And when I started like after purchasing my home, I was like, oh, I did not know that. I wish I did.
Right.
I did not know to shop around for doggone homeowner insurance. So I was paying nearly $4,000 a year in homeowners insurance. You don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot. So when I finally realized years after purchasing my home that was a lot, like let me actually shop around for it, and it's down at 1,200. So yeah, that lowers the your pity payment, your mortgage payment. But those are the things that I just love dropping gems and sharing. How to get into that role of purchasing a home. And I really love buyers because I love going to see a bunch of different homes and not having to buy them. I just like seeing the stuff that people do to their homes and the visions and helping a family get into a place where they are starting to build generational wealth.
You've spoken about like, some of the hiccups that you had along the way and things that you had to learn kind of like trial by fire. What is really the importance of like having good financial literacy in your homeowning journey?
I think that is extremely important. I think that I am fortunate where, God protects babies and fools. And I was a bit of both when I purchased my home. So I had a great realtor, and I think that going in not knowing what I know now, I could have really, really shot myself on the foot. Just in the eagerness of being able to purchase or the excitement
Yeah.
of the fact that I'm doing this for my son. But taking the time to really get educated and understanding what your bottom line is, understanding like what is your ultimate goal. And there's many ways that you can get to that. So if you I feel like people should understand their sellers, buyers and sellers, whoever, just should really understand and uh, try to identify what your ultimate goal is, and realize in the market when we're dealing with real estate specifically, if you're talking to somebody that is in Arlington or Loudoun or Fairfax, Prince William, and you're here in Fredericksburg, Stafford, and you guys are talking about real estate, and you guys are in the same like book series, but you're in different volumes, okay? Because
Yeah.
the real estate market and from county to county and city to city is different. So you had in Fredericksburg, the median or the average home sale or home value, sold home value, excuse me, is about 490,000, and the days on market was 50, and that's as of September of 2025. Whereas in Fairfax, Alexandria is closer to 790. That's going to be 760 in 26 days.
Now, I know you've got like your fact sheet over there, and there was something that you wanted to speak to on, like, the wealth gap.
Yeah, the wealth gap. So and then again, that plays into financial literacy. So you get a lot of people, and a lot of disinformation. You hear people say that, okay, well, the bank owns the house. If you're paying the mortgage, you really don't own the house. The check. Just hear me out. Let me cut this out.
Hear me out.
Let me go. But okay, so if you purchase a house for 400,000,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, true indeed, you're getting a loan for 400,000, and you have to pay interest on that. One, there are ways to pay down the house faster, whether it is bi-weekly or one extra payment per
Yeah.
year, or adding a little bit more to the principal of your payment each month. You could do all three and pay that bad boy off in 15 instead of 30. But the fact is that understanding that real estate is the biggest contributor in the wealth gap in the United States. I'm not speaking to any other country because I don't know any other country. I just know the stats in the United States. Real estate is the biggest contributor. From the last 30 years, the increase was, hold on, so 1.9, no, 1.3 as of 2022. Okay. The average wealth gap. So as of 2022, the average wealth gap between renters and buyers, or renters and homeowners, was $1.3 million. And that doesn't mean that every homeowner has $1.3 million. It is things that factor into the wealth gap, and that is one, the fact that wages, can be stagnant, and then there's inflation that you have to account for. So if you are renting and you get a little bit of a pay increase, one, there's inflation for all your incidentals and medical and everything, right? So you'll be paying more. You're also going to pay more in rent because each year rent increases. So you did a little bit of a pay increase,
Yeah.
and then everybody else is out here with their handout. Like, yes, you got an additional $1,500, and then we want like 1,499 of that.
Yeah.
So did you really get, anything?
And
Whereas
and
if you
and there's a lot of people who they think that when they want to make that jump into getting their first place, or the first thing they think about is, I need a rent.
Yeah, no, you don't need a rent. You don't need a rent initially. You don't. And some people, I would encourage people, like, if you have family, like my son, I'm trying to like beg him to come home after he graduates. Like, don't have to go pay somebody else, your money. Like, just save it. If you that eager to pay $1,000, $2,000, just take it and save it until you guys are ready to go on your way. Like, I want you to do that,
Sure.
But referring to the uh what was I saying? The wealth gap. Yeah, back to the wealth gap. The homeowners, as the market, the housing market, the home values increase as inflation. The ebbs and flows of inflation and the cost of living in society. One thing that homeowners can count on that they have locked in is their cost of living in terms of the roof over their head.
Right.
So yes, it can fluctuate based on like taxes in the area. So I don't want to say that it will never change, right? But it can, but it's going to be slower. It's going to be more gradual. And there's a level of security that you have in home ownership that you don't have in rentals. So not only if I'm paying 2,200 for a mortgage and 2,200 for rent for 10 years, um, the rent, excuse me, the renter, on average, their wealth bottom line, I'm thinking 6,000. I knew I was right.
Got it.
Yes, I know I was right. If I want to show what this is. Okay. So over the past 30 years, 33 years, average, the average wealth, oh my God. Now I'm like,
It's all right.
but anyway.
We get it
So,
back starting now.
okay. So over the past 33 years, the average wealth for homeowners is 900,000 versus renters 56. thousand.
Jeez, yeah, that's a huge,
Huge.
yeah,
And what it is not that owning a home per se, you have that money fluid in your pocket. But if you had to liquidate everything, you have that. If you were to sell that asset, you have a profit versus renting. You don't have that. You're paying that same $2,200 that the seller was paying, and after 10 years, you have what you have is essentially a, I don't want to call it a bank, but it's an investment in yourself when you are purchasing a home. A lot of people it can be scary, it can be daunting. I get that. Um, but I think that it's the juice is far is definitely worth the squeeze. And it's a far better investment than just paying the rent just because you don't have to deal with like a potentially broken refrigerator. Like
right.
everything is taken care of from your rent.
And it's also something for people to consider. Especially in this area, we have a lot of military folks.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And oh my God, like it hurts my soul when they don't use their VA benefits. Like they don't use when the VA benefits or their basic allowance for housing. Like you're getting a certain amount, and you could use that to pay. Essentially, think about this: like the government. I don't want to say you're scamming the government, but you're getting tax-free money to pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
And the mortgage is, yes, it
Why not?
principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are getting tax-free money from Uncle Sam to pay taxes on your home. I like that alone would encourage me to buy it. Like it's the greatest. I don't want to say again. I don't want to use words like swindle, scam, or whatever. But it's just a
Opportunity.
yes. It's such a great opportunity.
Yeah.
To like the cash in on the fact that yeah, you have to pay taxes, but are you really paying taxes? Was Uncle Sam paying his own taxes?
Right.
Like a lot of military active duty, they're like, oh, I'm going to be in this area for like 3 years, 4 years. That's more than enough to invest in that home, whether it's just purchasing and holding, or selling it when you leave. If somebody is in the military for 25 years, you get a service number and listed for 25 years, and they're at, let's say, 7 different duty stations. Of that 7, they buy a home 5 times. Put it in an LLC. By the time
That's two different realities.
by the time that you retire, you can either liquidate them or sell them all and cash in, or you could just have a residual income. You're buying military base, you're always gonna find a renter. People are looking out, like they are out here looking for investment properties. I held an open house yesterday, and there was like 11 groups, and of the 11, 3 of them were looking to purchase a house just to buy to rent out. $465,000 house. They wanted to buy it not to build memories.
Yeah.
Have it, but because they know the area and they're looking at everything going on in the economy, they know that there's going to be buyers that are going to be timid. And they're like, okay, well, I want to wait. Okay, well, while you wait, I will gladly take that money from you. You got to pay it somehow.
No, I hear you.
You got to pay to lay your head, or you lay your head somewhere. So it was like, luckily, I think that we got offer from buyers who were looking to make it a home. I'm not against landlords or whatnot, but it was just like they're buyers if they can. I understand that everybody has the opportunity at that moment, and they have to get themselves in the position, financial literacy being a key factor in understanding how to go about purchasing a home, what you should do, the first steps, things to look for. In terms, I didn't even know that. I had no idea that I needed a certain amount for inspections when I was purchasing my home. So all of that goes into the financial literacy aspect of it, because yes, you can get money back when purchasing your home, depending on programs, depending on a lot of different factors. And there's programs out there that can help you with low or no down payment, low or no closing costs. There are so many things out there that can assist buyers, and the buyers think that do you happen to know how much you might have to put down on a, say, conventional or FHA?
Oh, I have no clue.
Okay.
No.
A lot of people think it's 20%, because that was a number that was pushed for so long. You get buyers that are closing at 3%. After putting on percent down, 1.5 or none.
I think when my ex and I, when we purchased our house, it was under a rural loan
Yeah.
because of the area that we were yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
There's a
it was a little different route.
Yeah, there's advantages and there's more than one loan. Not every loan type is good for every buyer, and even every buyer, like they're looking, like you said, in a rural area, USDA versus FHA versus conventional versus. So it's really about being paired with the right knowledgeable lender, um, real estate agent, and knowing how to go about your search. And there's some buyers that like, no, it just find me a house. I don't care about the specifics of it. And it's I want to share. I want to explain it. Yeah. I want to make it. My tagline is redefining real estate experience. So I want to redefine that. I want to bring you in, and I want you to enjoy it. I want you to remember it. And I want to cater to my client. So that's what my goal is. No matter if you're a veteran, if you're first time, if you're buying $1 million house, it doesn't matter. Like, everybody's as important to me as the next.
Okay. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the market in the area. Tell us what area you service and kind of like an outlook on and how things are trending in the area.
Okay, so I serve all of Northern Virginia. I will be getting licensed in Maryland and DC, so I'll be DMV. But right now, just Northern Virginia. That goes from Loudoun County all the way down to King George.
Okay.
So but I can refer anybody anywhere. So I like to, play matchmaker with my referrals. Like, a couple referrals last week, but yes, I can refer any buyer, any seller, anywhere with.
Gotta have a strong network.
Yeah. Um, that being said, the outlook for the market, I think that it's hard for me to say that exactly what the market is going to do, in terms of interest rates, in terms of, I know that the home values are going to increase. There's 18-year real estate cycle, and there's 4 stages in that cycle where there is a slight dip in the values of the homes, but overall the trajectory, excuse me, is upward. And that's just how real estate, that's the nature of real estate.
Yeah.
So when if people are waiting for homes to take this massive dive, it's it's not likely to happen. There are certain times where you might find an outlier, you might find a needle in a haystack, and that's awesome. I'd say jump on it when you can. But I would say that the best time to it is better to be in the market than the time to try to time the market, because you can, by waiting, you are the home values are increasing. So if you're looking at a home that is at 450 now, and thinking that you have to save a certain amount for that home at 450, and you'll have it in 2 years, great. That's great. That's great. Now, if you can afford it now, get it now. But because you want to be able to furnish the home like the $20,000, $30,000 worth of new furniture, and that is your holdup, or because you don't have if you wanted to have a certain type of flooring or
Right.
paint. If it's something small, I don't mean that if it's something like, okay, the home only has 2 bedrooms when you have a family of 6. Like, obviously, if it is doable and you can make it work, I would say it's better to get it now than to try to wait. Because if you're saving for a home that is at 450 today, then chances are, by the time that you have that in 2 years, that home is going to be closer to 5 something. Especially with the infrastructure being built up in this area. The indoor water park. You had Rosie's that just was up. There's a lot that's going on and it's being built up in this area, even in terms of the communities. So I I have read articles where there's a projection that there's going to be a crash, and that or articles that from somebody else that with the projection that the interest rates are going to go down. Both things are possible, and it's possible that both things, yes, possible both things are not are going to happen. I don't know, but What I do know is instead of trying to, um, I'm not,
Find a sweet spot instead of like trying to find a sweet spot.
yeah, instead of trying to, I'm not a proponent of, I'm not saying that you shouldn't plan for tomorrow,
Hmm.
but you should plan for tomorrow by taking action today.
Yeah.
And I think that when a lot of buyers that are trying to get they're stuck on the interest rate, and that I don't know if they really have done the cost benefits analysis of waiting and understanding what happens when interest rates fall. Because then the home values get inflated. We enter into a seller's market where a lot of buyers are trying to purchase homes, and sellers have the advantage because there's, they have they have the supply for the demand of the, like, they have what the buyers want, right? And there's so many buyers to that one seller, and now you have to submit an offer without any contingencies and not inspecting the home, and it has to
Yep.
be at full or more than asking. And there's so many things that a lot of people want those COVID interest rates, and but they don't remember really what it was like shopping for a home. They're just thinking that low interest rate, and just for the sake of having that low interest rate, a lot of buyers paid far beyond what the value of the home was, right? So it's I'm glad they got in somewhere, but I think that again, in terms of the projection of what the market is, I think the market, there's always going to be homes that are going to be for sale.
Hmm.
There's always going to or that need to sell. There's always going to be buyers that need to be on the market. I don't think that people should be, if they can, I don't think that people um, should be timid or uh,
I remember you used the illustration of double dutch.
yes.
Uh,
Yeah, that's getting in the market versus trying to time the market. So like when you think of the double dutch, I don't know how many people can double dutch or even trying to jump rope.
mhm.
Like you're trying to jump in, you're sitting there waiting for that, and as soon as you get in, it just whips your leg.
Right.
Like that joint hurts.
Right.
And that's what can happen. As soon as those interest rates fall, and you think that you're gonna get a certain home, and yeah, so doesn't 20 other buyers that were waiting for the interest rates to fall. Now the seller's like, oh, this nice little bidding war. Um, but ultimately, I think it's about more than that. It's you have more time in the role of a homeowner and building equity and making each mortgage payment work for you versus paying your landlord or a company or whatever. Like it is far more valuable to just get in the market, get off the couch, get in the market. And if you don't know, if you're not able to, I understand. Again, I'm not speaking to the buyers who can't, in terms of, I'm talking about if you can get into it now. And if you can't, let's have a conversation. I want to talk to you too, whether you can and you're ready to buy it or sell, or you can't and you need to get in that position. I'm here to help everybody.
Right.
Whether it's in 2 years, whatever, 2 months, everybody, needs a place to lay their head. It was the best decision that I've made as an adult. Um, I It has helped me to be able to be a realtor. I wouldn't be able to be a realtor in this capacity if I did not purchase or own my home, because how the amount of equity that I had,
Yeah.
my payments. I started off paying a certain amount, which is slightly above what I was paying in rent, and now it's less than what I was paying in rent when I first started. And that's because I was able to refinance
Yep.
my interest rate. I was able to get that lower. Now I don't pay personal property taxes. When I got my redid my estimate or for my homeowners insurance, that saves hundreds of dollars. So now I'm paying less than what I ever paid in rent. So while the rent has been steady increasing in this area, I hear and I see what people are saying, and I hear how they're feeling. And a lot of people want to go back to the time when rent was a certain amount, but it's like if if you were able to purchase a home, it's kind of like I don't want to rub it in there, but if you were able to purchase a home at that time, the amount to purchase the home would have been the same about amount that you were going to be paying in rent.
Yeah.
But you,
That's facts. That's
a
facts.
lot of people are far more qualified than they think,
Hmm.
and they are able to make that move quicker than what they believe, but they don't know it. So I would recommend is speaking with a qualified professional
Hmm.
to understand what is available to you, because what's available to you may not be what's available to the next person, and what's available to the next person. They have programs for people who are like first responders or you know, nurses and things of that nature, teachers, and so it's worth the ask.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna have your information to share at the end of the pod, and definitely reach out to her if you've got some real estate questions, if you're looking for services, things of that nature. But I want to transition into something else. I've been following you online, and I know you're really big into your fitness journey as well.
I don't.
Did you grow up like a tomboy or anything?
No, I wasn't a tomboy. I was. I don't know what you would call it. I just liked everything. Like I loved my makeup. I loved dressing cute, but I also liked slide tackling. Um, and and
Soccer reference.
so I yes. So I think I'm just I like what I like. So there's and it doesn't have to be like okay, well you like this sport, so you're a tomboy, or you like I love my lip gloss. My lips are too big for me. Fat to have like some glossy lips, right? Can't have not have chat lips, but um, it's just you like what you like. Not that there's anything wrong with being a tomboy. I just can't say that I was.
Okay.
Um, my sister was more a tomboy, but she because she was just as
Put her out there like that.
she was. She knows what she was.
Okay.
So, she knows what she was. But I had undiagnosed ADD.
Okay.
So I think that part of it is just a lot of energy that I've always had. It's hard for me to sit still. Um, a lot of times it's hard for me to sit still, but I do enjoy working off energy. And stay my great one of my greatest fears is feeling like I'm trapped in my body,
Yeah.
like not being able to do something, squat. I did some sprints on a morning walk the other day. And have you ever seen those videos where somebody starts running and they're like, "Oh my god, my leg in the back." I never knew what it was. Like I'm like, "How are you?"
It's the hamstring. Yep.
I felt that the other day. So what the hell's going on? Yeah. So now I've been doing sprints every day because I was like, I ain't going out like that. So when you don't,
We not gonna get into the age of anything like that. We gotta leave that alone.
yeah. But I like one of my greatest fears, like I said, is being trapped in my body and not being able to do like basic things. And obviously we're all going to age. I'm very grateful to be able to to every year that passes. So it's not like I'm trying to not age, but I mean I don't want to have to buy new knees or a new hip. Not anything against anybody else, but like if I had a choice, I would rather use that money for something else.
You understand that you have one body and you take care of it.
Exactly. I like pushing myself to I did Spartan race for the first time when I was 40. I'm turning 42 in December.
Okay.
But yeah, I did my first Spartan race. I can't even say my first. That was the only one I've done so far, so I can't. But it was the first.
You may be saying first because you may do it again.
Okay. But maybe no, I'm not. But
How was that?
it was. I should have wrapped my knees, but it was very very fun. It was really really exciting. Jumping in like big things of mud and murky water and low crawling and yeah, I had a blast. There was so many people out there. I met some people. Still stay connected with those same people that I ran the race with. It was a client of mine that challenged me earlier on in the year, and like a week before, he's like, "You ready?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about, dude?" Oh, the Spartan race is coming up.
So
So
was everybody in like tip top shape or
no, no, you had people that were They didn't run any bit of it, or if they did, I can't even say they ran any bit of it. Let me track that. They were walking, but they were there and they
Hmm.
were doing it.
Yep.
So you had people. I saw people with like little knee braces.
Hmm.
They had little what do they call it, obstacle courses with for little kids and stuff like that. So it was a smaller version, but it was really fun. And to see everybody out there at their different physical capabilities, it was like I love that atmosphere. I think it was because it was instilled in me from a young age from like, you know, basically every sport that I did was like a team sport, even track. I was on the 4x1 relay, but it was still a team. You know, we still had to win the track meet or invitational or sectional or whatever as a
Yeah.
team. So and then I go from that team to the military. Then I go from there, I go to the police force. And like when I transitioned to business analyst, that was kind of like the first time I'm feeling like I'm kind of like, oh,
So,
I don't have, yeah. So that camaraderie, I really do enjoy. Even though I have a gym in my basement, I do enjoy going to the gym and working out because it's just that energy there. Everybody, um, regardless of what their ultimate fitness goal is, they're working on their fitness.
yeah.
So while we're not a dedicated team, it's like just an amalgamation of like-minded individuals, and I really enjoy that. I don't know, I just like
Look, I've got a dad bod, but I like to still consider myself an athlete. So you think I do pretty well at that Spartan race?
yeah, anybody could do. Well, I don't know how your knees are, so I'll have to see. But you're fine. You wrap them though, so they'll stay fine. Wrap them. But you'd be surprised. There were people that were in appeared to be in their tip top shape that were like, ugh,
Yeah.
ugh. And then there was people that had dad bods or bigger,
Hmm.
and they were just booking it. So I never judge a book by its cover. The fact that they were there and they were hightailing it, it was a sight to see. It was exciting.
Okay.
It's fun. So if you get a chance to do it, I would do it. But wrap your knees. I can't say that again. Wrap your knees.
Wait, why do you keep saying it? It was like this. It's a lot of high impact,
Oh yes.
like jumping over, like
Yes. And then it all depends on where the course is. But I mean there was some flat, but it's not like you're running on a pushy like indoor track.
you're not on like pavement. Yeah, just uneven and everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Twigs
yeah.
and stumps and
I got you.
yeah, so it's like you Rambo out there. Like it was fun. It was fun, but it was definitely again, wrap your knees.
I got you. I got you.
If you're gonna do that. But yeah, I do enjoy fitness. I'm working on my handstand.
Yep.
I've never learned how to do a handstand. Even as a cheerleader, I didn't know how to do a handstand. I could do a back bend, a walkover, splits, all of that. I never even wanted to do it. I could do a headstand. I could be on my head for forever. But a handstand itself, I just learned how to do it and hold it for about like 15 seconds.
Yeah, you look pretty good.
Thank you, thank you. But my goal is to do the push up. So I ain't like even like the push ups. I don't even know how that's gonna work.
You're insane. But that's so on brand for you. I could see you trying to knock that out.
Thank you. Oh, I like to challenge myself. Like I said, I'm learning different languages. Mandarin and Spanish are the primary ones. So I want to see where I am. I'm not gonna say anything now. I know Jintian.
Hmm?
Jintian is today in Mandarin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You flexing.
So I'm just saying, no, I ain't flexing too much, but what I will say is, catch me next year. I'll come again next year. We'll see if I can say more than just today in Mandarin.
Okay. No, it sounded good to me. I don't know what it was supposed to sound like, but it sounded good to me.
Yes, it sounds something like that. It's good.
Yeah. So
That's it. That's it.
what other things do you do? To or you just really bring you to life and that you have like a passion for.
Um, I like random stuff. Like, I like going to what it was called the escape rooms,
Oh yeah, yeah.
axe throwing. Oh,
There's one right across the street
yeah.
where we're at in Success Space.
I went to a Renaissance fair with my son. It was so much fun.
Mhm.
I like fairs, carnivals. I like going just walking randomly in DC
Okay.
because there's so much to do. I love going to the Smithsonian. As a yes. I've been to the Aerospace Museum about 1,000,001 times because my son used to want to be a pilot. And So anytime plan on going to any other museum, by the time we got up there, it's just like, nah, he wants to go. So yeah, I've been there like a million times, but I love the Museum of Natural History. But I want to travel. It's not that I don't like traveling. I
I
don't.
like museums. That's like a cheap date. I like.
Yeah, yeah. Cheap
I
day.
mean,
No, I agree.
you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. And you get to learn a lot. You get to learn a lot about a person. Yeah.
I think
Get to know the mind. Yeah.
like the first day we're like dinner in a movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
we're gonna be talking, and then half the day we're gonna be quiet, and so that doesn't make sense. But I don't think that a first date should be like if somebody is like trying to pull out all the stops and spending $500 or $2,000 on a
Yeah.
first date. That's actually like to me, it's a turn off. Like I don't even know if I can get past coffee with you. Like let's just have some coffee first to
Okay.
see if I'm okay with you. But I just got a vacation club membership and I don't prioritize traveling, which is why I did it because I know since I had to pay, and it wasn't an expense. I got a great deal on it, but I got that like in April, and I still
Is
haven't
that
paid.
in essence like a subscription
Um,
service? Like you got a certain amount of like trips that are allotted to you, or
no,
no.
no. So the deal that I got when I first signed up, I got some travel deals and places that I can go to and everything. So I did get that,
Hmm.
but as far as how many trips you can take, as much as you can afford.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't prioritized taking any.
Hey, it's time for me to start looking into things like this. What?
I'm gonna send you some information. But it's not that I don't like traveling. I don't prioritize um doing like fun stuff for me like that. And it's part of it is out of habit. I never really raising my son. I any extra money at no point in time was I thinking, oh, I can go on a
Yeah.
vacation. So I'm in a habit of just not going on vacation.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to change that. But I just like doing random stuff. It's hard to say what I like doing on my days off. Sometimes I'm in my office
Hmm.
um until the wee hours, and my mentor, senior, right? I love you. She has to like make sure that I'm out of the office
Hmm.
because I definitely can get sucked in with work.
I know at one point you had mentioned about comfrey. Are you in like the herb space as well, or do you garden, or what's up with?
Okay, I had intent. I garden with my mom. I helped her, which is why I want to get a garden for my house.
Okay.
I have a very large backyard, and it's nice and flat, and it's got a lot of sun.
Okay.
Yes, but Karen Duncan, you got to come down and help me start. Not to call her out or anything, but yeah. So she knows she's been gardening for so long, like she knows what plants are complementing
Yes,
one another.
companion plants.
And
Yep.
I don't want to like, even when it comes to like, okay, she'll come down and she has told me before, but she's drawn it out for me. Then maybe I would have like remembered.
Yeah.
But she's like, okay, well, this is what we have to plant here, and we have to plant this here.
Yep.
But she's RN, she's a traveling nurse. I love her to death. But I just need her to come down and help me start.
Okay.
Now then, like I'm capable of building a deck, but it's just like I don't want to waste that seed money and
Yeah.
having to remove and relocate different plants and stuff like that. But I do want to do that more, especially with the cost of things
Hmm.
getting to be what they are.
That's something I'm definitely passionate about.
Yes. So I I haven't done it on my own,
Yeah.
but it's definitely something that I want to do, especially with comfrey. That's something that I think because of the healing benefits of it, that's something that I think that you just need to have, especially if you're very, very active. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't do like, the pretty gardens, with all the pretty plants. I like to do like the
Or floral.
yeah, I do like I do yeah, I do plants that are like, vegetables and herbs.
Space you want them
Yeah.
to be able to eat them.
Yeah, I need some benefit. Now, there is one benefit to some of them. If it's a pretty plant and, it like attracts pollinators,
Yeah.
then I'm down for that.
Like
But
marigolds and stuff like that, citronella that keep things away.
yeah,
That's the type of stuff that my mom knows to do. Like she doesn't use like her garden. She has a ginormous garden. And she doesn't use like pesticides.
no,
She doesn't use like her. She has an organic garden. And she never has any issues. She knows what to do. And I want to lean on her expertise. So I don't. But a lot of that stuff she's learned over the years,
yeah.
right? So she's made mistakes when
There's
she's.
definitely gonna be some trial and error.
But then I can skip all of that if she just comes down. It helps. I don't want to do the trial and error. I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I want her. And in the meantime, and this is just me. I had to scale back on what my ideal garden would be because ideally I want this huge garden that's kind of like the secret garden, has an arch. I have a whole bunch of this and a whole bunch of these. But then you got to think about harvesting, right? So, and I don't want to have to like harvest and blanch and then can and then like
Baby steps. Being active.
yeah. So maybe I could just start with like the elevated garden with like herbs.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. Cool. Well, it's been great getting the chance to know you and expose you to the audience. Can you do us a favor as we're closing out? Can you share with us how can we keep in touch with you?
Sure. Thank you for inviting me too, by the way.
Of course.
But my Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram at Alessandra.Finn. My Facebook is Alessandra Finn, DA Realtor. TikTok, Alessandra the Agent, and my website is alessandratheagent.com. You can text me or give me a call at 571-266-2726.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Well, that's all our time we have for the show today.